Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, we're going to review news and misinformation that's designed to keep you in the market. So the news about Bitcoin going higher and higher increases the later we get into the bull run before the bubble bursts. And I just want to go over some of the things that have happened in the past and get you guys a little warmed up for some stuff that you're going to start hearing all over social media, all over the news, and you'll be reading about it too. And I just want you guys to be mentally prepared for this because this is going to be the euphoric time in the market where you've tripled or quadrupled your money and you're going to get overconfident. You're going to think you're the man. You're going to think that you're a millionaire. This is when things start to collapse. And before you know it, your portfolio has dropped by 30%. Okay. So we want you guys to be mentally prepared to lock in those profits. And don't forget to pay attention to that 5 exponential moving average and the other things that we went over earlier in the video. But right now, let's just talk about the news and misinformation that's meant to keep you in the market. All right. So let's go ahead and review a couple of examples. So right here, Exhibit A, we've got a news article, and this is February 22nd in 2024, and it says Max Kaiser warns of government seizing Bitcoin and ETFs, predicts 1987 style crash as Bitcoin rises to $500,000. Okay, a looming crash while simultaneously predicting that Bitcoin's price will surge past $500,000. So this is garbage, you guys. Like, a lot of people are going to read this, they're going to believe it, and they're going to want to believe it, right? Because if you bought Bitcoin at 95 grand, at 120 grand or whatever, you're going to want to believe this stuff and you're going to get burned. Let's go ahead and look at another example. So here's something that showed up on my Reddit. This is somebody talking about, oh, you just wake up and Bitcoin's gone from $100,000 to $250,000, right? Just another example of FOMO. So this is something that I stumbled across on CoinMarketCap back when Bitcoin was 41 grand. You know, you got people posting these things on the side here, and this guy's claiming that Michael Saylor thinks Bitcoin's gonna hit 350 grand in 2024. All right, just totally ridiculous number. There's no math or explanation of why this person is claiming this price. All right, so just another example of extreme fear of missing out. And there are people out there, you guys, that are going to be coming up with all kinds of fancy drawings all over their own custom-made charts. And these charts are going to look pretty legit with whatever lines that they're drawing on there. But we're focusing on math in this course, and our calculations could be wrong, right? But we're just looking at the data that's there. These people that are drawing all these fancy looking charts, hoping that Bitcoin's gonna go to $300,000 this year, it's hopium, you know? It's just like, you don't wanna bet your money on that. You gotta take those with a grain of salt. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at another example. And this says, Arthur Hayes suggests that Bitcoin could reach $1 million in 2024, attributing this potential surge to anticipated changes in the Federal Reserve's monetary policy. So in just a few examples, we've gone from 250,000 to 350,000 to 500,000 and now $1 million. Okay, so it's all just garbage. Another thing that you guys are going to see is that some YouTubers that you might listen to are going to be biased. All right, some of them are just bullish 24/7. So there's two things that we want to be aware of when we're listening to these biased YouTubers. Okay, for one, the Bitcoin maximalists are always going to talk smack about gold. Remember, gold is extremely rare. There is no way that we can efficiently make gold in a lab. You can make diamonds in a lab. You can't make gold. Gold is made from exploding stars. And yeah, the stuff has value, okay? And Ethereum maximalists are always thinking that one day Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin. This phenomenon that they always talk about and they want to happen one day is called the flippening, okay? This is like the day where Ethereum has more market cap than Bitcoin. Whether you're a Bitcoin maximalist talking smack about gold, or you're a Ethereum maximalist hoping and praying that the flipping is gonna happen, the two things that they have in common is they're always talking smack about the US dollar. And let me tell you something, when the market crashes and crypto is dropping by 70%, the US dollar looks really good, okay? So the whole point of us doing this crypto thing is to have more US dollars. Sure, inflation is happening. You go into other investments to help minimize that damage as much as possible. But in the end, the goal is to have more US dollars, right? So here's a website called blockchaincenter.net. And they've got this flippening chart. And yeah, they're just hoping that one day that's gonna come true. It's not gonna happen. By the way, everything you're watching right now is part of my crypto investor toolkit. And I decided to put the entire thing on YouTube for free because it's exactly what I wish I had when I first started in this space. Now, if you want to go deeper, I've also built the advanced modules. That includes my full altcoin list where I break down every category of the hottest layer ones, decentralized finance, the AI coins, the memes, and all of that. Plus, I provide 100 target levels for all of those things using Fibonacci levels, adoption curves, ChatGPT backtesting, and much more. Plus, we've also created some amazing Bitcoin price prediction modules that you guys are going to be able to reuse every single cycle, even though Bitcoin's going to constantly be evolving every 4 years. Now, you guys have seen other people's Bitcoin price predictions before, but the one that we have is so meticulous in advance, and we've used so many different methods for calculating it. I think you guys are going to be blown away when you see that there's nothing else like this on YouTube. There's nothing else like this on Twitter. It's kind of curated information over years of work, and you know, it's something that we're really proud of. And I think once you guys see it, you're going to see how much it stands out compared to other Bitcoin price prediction methods. Links below if you want in. Now let's get back to the video. Another thing that these maximalists have in common when they're talking smack about the US dollar and they're talking smack about gold is they're accidentally revealing that they don't even understand what this whole crypto thing is about. And at the very beginning of this course, we went over the fundamentals of what this asset class even is. It's the fifth evolution of a currency, right? Now people will be talking smack about gold, they'll be talking smack about the US dollar, and then they'll be talking good about Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? Well, you see, without the US dollar and without gold, none of this stuff is worth anything, okay? So we have to have the US dollar in order for Bitcoin to be worth anything. We have to have gold for the US dollar to be worth anything. And there's going to be times where it's going to be good to own gold, and there's going to be times when it's good to hold Bitcoin. There's going to be times when it's good to hold US dollars, and there's going to be times when it's good to hold Ethereum, right? It's just the way that stuff moves around. Stuff is overvalued and stuff is undervalued, right? All right, so we've got that out of the way. Now let's go over every Bitcoin cycle, every 4 years, there is a new creative technology or twist that is designed to get you to part with your money. At least when we hold crypto on an exchange or in our wallet, at least we're holding it and we have control of it, right? But you're gonna see that there's always gonna be a new creative twist to get you to part with your money. So for example, in 2017, there was this company called BitConnect. It was a Ponzi scheme, and you essentially put your Bitcoin in there and it just magically starts growing, right? And of course, BitConnect ended up being a scam and people lost all their money. Now, another thing is crypto mining. If you buy all these computers and you try to mine and you don't do it at the right time, you're not gonna be able to pay off your electric bill, you're not gonna pay off all the hardware that you bought, and you can get burned. And what's even worse is cloud mining, okay? In 2018, there's this company called Genesis Mining. They're based in Iceland. They're a total scam. I've given my money to them, and they just switched my contract to some piece of garbage coin that nobody cares about. Not only that, but after a few weeks, they even went and turned the machine off that was mining. So cloud mining is a total scam, and there is another cloud mining operation. This one was called Hashflare. They were based out of Estonia in Europe, and I gave these guys 10 grand, and now the website just doesn't exist, okay? So do not do cloud mining. So there's always a new twist on how to get you to separate with your money. Some NFTs are really good. However, you have to be paying attention to that market. You almost have to be a specialist if you're gonna invest in NFTs, and you have to only invest in the ones that are trending. So for example, I thought that NFTs were like the digital version of baseball cards, right? And I was thinking, what is the biggest sport in the world and who's the biggest athlete of that sport? So to me, it was Pele. And when the Winklevoss twins launched their Eternity chain, which was an NFT chain that ran on Ethereum, their first debut series that they launched was the Pele series. And I bought their biggest, premier, most expensive Pele NFT. I bought it for like 5 grand, and I can't even sell the thing for $100. So if you're gonna buy NFTs, you gotta make sure that you buy the ones that are trending, and you gotta get rid of them before the market crashes, okay? I'm not gonna say that all NFTs are a scam. I'm just saying that it's a new creative way to get you to part with your money, okay? So another example is algorithmic stablecoins. This is what caused the coin Terra Luna to crash. Now this Terra Luna asset was performing ridiculously well, like too good, okay? And when you see a coin performing that good, now I realize you gotta be on high alert, okay? And sure enough, this thing totally imploded. So if you guys are ever invested in an altcoin and they're talking about an algorithmic stablecoin, just stay away from it, all right? One thing that you guys are really gonna start hearing at the end of this bull run is a focus on BRICS. BRICS is essentially 5 huge countries that are combining their forces, and they're sick of the US dollar being the #1 currency in the world, and they want to change that and they want to create their own currency. So it's a combination of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And we're going to probably be hearing a lot about BRICS near the end of this bull run, trying to scare us to stay in crypto before it crashes, okay? All right, so you guys get the picture. That's enough examples of misinformation designed to keep you in the market. In this next video, we're gonna review some indicators that are gonna help get us a feel for the pulse of when the market is overheated, and maybe it's time that we start preparing to exit. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers. When I first got into crypto in 2017, it would have been a game changer had somebody provided me a free course like this. But the difference between surviving and actually winning in this market is knowing when to enter and when to exit. That's exactly why I built the advanced toolkit, which you can get at cryptoinvestortoolkit.com. Inside, you'll get my full altcoin list broken down by sectors like AI, layer 1s, layer 2s, decentralized finance, and complete with 100 price targets so you know where to take profit. You'll also get the Bitcoin price prediction system. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but once you dive into this system, you're gonna be blown away once you see how much energy we put into it and how many methods we put it through. It's the most meticulous Bitcoin price prediction analysis ever. And as Bitcoin continues to evolve, you'll be able to apply this to every Bitcoin cycle moving forward. This is gonna help people know when Bitcoin is overheated, and it's also gonna let them know when it's oversold. So if you don't wanna be left guessing when to sell, grab the advanced toolkit by clicking the link in the description below. Otherwise, click here to watch the next video.